Hi guys, Shar here, your health and wellness coordinator. And today I'm going to set up a total body core workout for you. We're going to set it up like a circuit. So in each circuit there's 3 different exercises. It'll be about 10 to 12 repetitions of each exercise. Then you'll repeat all 3 of those exercises again and you move on to circuit number 2. Same thing for circuit number 2 and circuit number 3. So it takes about 30 minutes for you to do this workout. Keeping in mind when we're working our core, we don't just talk about our abdominal muscles, we also include a little bit of glute work and hip work. Today I'll just describe, or I'll name the exercise, I'll demonstrate the exercise, and then I'm going to send out a follow-up email of what that circuit looks like. Alright, for circuit number 1, the first exercise will be a downward dog position to tap your toe. I'm going to show you some modifications as well. So you're going to be in a nice, stable position for this high plank. Hold your core really tight, and then using your abdominal strength, press your hips up towards the ceiling. Your goal is to touch the opposite toe hand, and then come back to the high plank. Try to touch your toe, then come back to that high plank. If your toe is not doable, then you try and touch your shin, or you can touch your knee. So completing 12 repetitions of that one, then we're going to move to the next exercise. It's called hollow hold. Now, you want your abdominals pressed gently against the mat. You're going to take your legs out and hands above the head. Now, when you're doing this, make sure you're not arching your back. What you're going to do is pull your knees in, out, one knee, out, one knee, and that is 1 repetition. You're going to pull both in, extend, pull one knee in, back out, one knee in, back out. Notice that you're never letting your head drop. You're keeping your head up off of the mat, making sure you're pressing gently against the mat with that back. Okay, exercise number 3 is going to be a shoulder bridge with leg drops. So when you're in the shoulder bridge position, this is really targeting that glute strength. You want to press your hips up towards the ceiling, core nice and tight, extend the leg up. You're going to dorsiflex, which means you're going to flatten your foot out, and you're going to drop that leg down to where it meets the height of the other knee. Then point your toe on the way up, dorsiflex on the way down, keep squeezing your glutes, point your toe, dorsiflex down. So you're going to do 10 to 12 repetitions on that side, then switch to the other side. If you need to take your bum all the way down to start with, until you build up some glute strength, you can do that as well. Just keeping in mind, you're going to squeeze those glutes, even if your bum is on the floor. Okay? Here or here. So those are your 3 exercises. You're going to do the downward dog, alternating toe touch. Second one is the hollow and hold. And the third one is your shoulder bridge with your leg drops. So that's circuit number 1. Remember, you're going to repeat all 3 of those exercises. Take a little rest between, and then we'll move on to circuit number 2. Circuit number 2, we're going to start with a little hip work. In that kneeling position, take one hand all the way down to the mat, extend the other leg out, try and lengthen this leg out as much as you can. Pointing that toe, you're going to do 10 little circles, one way, and then 10 little circles the other way. Okay, try not to move too much through your pelvis. Part 2 of this exercise is you point your toe forward with a little kick, and then dorsiflex your foot back. Point your toe, so it's called plantar flexion, forward, then dorsiflexion back. So point, dorsiflexion. Again, try not to move your hips too much. 10 repetitions of that. Switch to the other side. You have your 10 little circles each way, and then your point and flex, 10 repetitions. Okay, so those are called side leg series. Number 2, we're going to do a forearm plank. Placing those forearms on the mat. Make sure you're engaging through your core. Then you pop those knees up. If this is intense enough, you just stay here. You want to lift your hips up just slightly to release that pressure on that lower back. You have 10 repetitions like this. Reach, bring your hand back, reach, bring your hand back. So 10 of those. Part 2 is alternating leg lift. Good. Squeeze your glutes. Do not rush through this. And you do 10 repetitions in total. Okay, exercise number 3. We're We're going to do Superman with working a little bit through that posterior chain, so the back side of your body, working through your back. It's called your erector spinae, so we're going to strengthen that as well. So Superman, like this, lift, core tight, pull your elbows back, W shape with your arms, reach forward and down. Reach, legs and arms, pull back, forward and down. 10 repetitions. When you're doing that exercise, make sure you're engaging through your core. So don't let your belly sink into the mat. You want to pull your ribs towards your hips just slightly so that you know that you're engaging through your core. Okay, those are your 3 exercises. Side leg series, forearm plank with the reaches and the alternating leg lifts, and then your Superman with your W shape in your arms. Okay, that's circuit number 2. Remember, you have to repeat all 3 again. Circuit number 3, bear hold. Okay, bear hold, curl your toes underneath. Make sure your wrists are right underneath your shoulder to make sure you're nice and stable. Make sure your shoulders don't pop up to your ears. Pull them away from your ears. You're going to elevate your knees off of the floor. Hold your core really tight. So when you're in that position, make sure you're pulling your belly up and in. And you're going to alternate tap your knee, tap your knee, tap your knee, tap your knee. Try not to rock too much through that. Try and stay nice and still. You've got 1, so I'll count that for you. 1, 2, 2. 20 in total. Okay? Exercise number 2. We're going to do a long-legged shoulder bridge. So our last shoulder bridge, our legs were here. This one we're going to take our legs out a little bit more, and we're not going to lift our hips up quite so much. We're going to pull our knee in, set it down. Pull our knee in, so it's like a march. Set it down quietly. Pull your knee in, set it down. Pull your knee in, set it down. If you're finding that too much strain on the back of your legs, you can pull your heels towards your bum a little bit and lift your knee up. If you want to make this more challenging, instead of putting your hands on the mat, you could place your hands up towards the ceiling. It gives you a little less stability, so it makes your core work just a little bit harder. So a long-legged shoulder bridge with the knee marches. Okay, last one in this series, side plank position. You can stack your feet if you want. You can stagger your feet if you want. Here's a modification as well. You can bend that bottom leg underneath. Just gives you a little bit more stability. Once you're in that position, arm comes up. You're going to drop your hip, lift it up towards the ceiling, drop, lift. I want you to do 10 repetitions on one side, then 10 on the other side. When you're doing this, make sure your elbow's right below your shoulder. Gives you a little bit more stability. You don't want your arm way out here, right? That's really hard on your shoulder girdle area. Okay, so make sure it's nice and stable underneath. So you have your bear hold, you have your long-legged shoulder bridge, and then you have your side plank with your hip drops. Repeat all 3 again, and then you're done. So if you have any questions, make sure you email me about this. I am going to send out the format of the class and the names of the exercises. I hope you have a good workout.